Let's look at Chapter 7, Lesson 3, Review. Find the area of each figure. So remember, area is going to be the inside amount of squares. So I can first cut this off and say that this is a 3 by 3, which I know is 9, plus one more is going to be 10. I'm going to do the same thing for this. I know that this is going to be a 3 by 2, which is 6, plus 1 and 1 is going to be 8. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I know this is a 3 by 2, which is 6, and then I have a half and a half up here, which is 1, so it's 7. Number 4, you're going to want to cut into different pieces, and I know that this is going to be 1 and a half, and then I have 1, and another half, and then I have these equal 1. So I have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 and a half. So count that up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half square units. For number 5, you might want to put a box going around it. Find out how much the box is and then subtract. So I know that this is going to be a 3 by 4. So I know total that it's going to be 12. However, I need to subtract from what I have here. I can cut this to figure out how much this square would be, which would be a 1 by 3, and half of that to find this little area would be 1 and a half. I'm going to go ahead and cut this box right here, and I can see that it cuts right in half to find this area right here, which is not part of the triangle, so I'm going to make it in teal, and I know that it's a 3 by 1, and half of 3 by 1 is going to be 1 and a half. So the teal is going to represent things that I might need to subtract. I'm going to do the same thing for this little box right here. I know that this is a 2 by 1, so this part right here is 1, which I can subtract. I know right here is going to be 2, which I would subtract, and I know that this part right here is half of 2, which would be 1, which I can subtract. So if I add up all the teal and subtract it from 12, I'll find the area of just the triangle. So I have 1 and a half plus 1 and a half, which is 3, and then I have 1 plus 1 plus 2, which is 4, so that's 7 total. So 12 take away 7 is going to be 5. So the area for this one is 5. We're going to do the same thing for this number 6. Now, if I'm looking at this, I know that the whole square that I boxed off is going to be 12. Now, we're going to try to find the outside parts. That way we can subtract in order to find how much the area of the triangle inside is worth. So if I'm looking at this part over here, I have a box that I can box off to find the triangle. And I can do a 2 by 4, which is 8. Half of 8 is going to be 4. So I know that this part over here is going to be 4 that I need to subtract. I'm going to do the same thing for this part right here. And I have 1 by 3. Half of 1 by 3 is going to be 1 and a half. So I know that this part right here is 1 and a half. And I do the same thing for this area over here. I box it off and I cut it in half to find that. It's a 1 by 3, so I know that that triangle right here is going to be 1 and a half. So then I can add up 1 and a half plus 1 and a half, which is 3, plus 4 more, which is 7. 12 minus 7 is going to be 5 square units. Remember, you need your work in order to make sure that I know what you're doing. For number 7, 8, 9, and 10, we need to write the fact family that's shown by each array. The first one is a 4 by 5. So I know 4 times 5 equals 20. Your fact family is 4, 5, and 20. Your second one, number 8, is going to be a 5 by 7, which equals 35. Your fact family is 5, 7, and 35. Your ninth one is a 5 by 5. So your fact family is 5 times 5, which equals 25, or 5 and 25. This is a 6 by 6, which I know 6 times 6 is equal to 36. So 6 and 36 are your fact family.